What's good? I am Yish. This is Yish in your ear. Today we take a look at a soft synth from Ocean Swift Synthesis. This is titled Polyphenom, Advanced Hybrid Synthesizer. Polyphenom includes additive synthesis with 16 partials, 2 subtractive oscillators that are cross-fadeable, as well as frequency modulation, pitch envelope, effects, and your standard amp and filter envelope, including tons of modulation capabilities to craft your own sounds. But hey, I can show you better than I can tell you.
This is Yish in your ear.
All right, so here we have it. Polyphenom in the flesh. Let's go over the interface. So to the left here, upper left, we have the additive section where you can choose between the 2 different options for the partials. And these are the harmonic partials here that can be modified. All right. You also have an option to change the octave for the additive synthesis. And then you have the pitch bend option here. For each partial, you get top and bottom arrow as well as the mid section, so you can do that for each one of these. They all have panning. Okay, this is the reset button for the panning. Down here you have the 4 different modulation options and how much the modulation affects that partial. The next section is the actual modulators for the additive synthesis. So 1 through 2 and 3 through 4, respectively, for the 4 options of the modulation section. On the partials, you have the rate, which you can see here. It's modifying what the rate is. All right. This button here is to choose between free and sync. So it will sync to your DAW's tempo, or you can change that here as well. All right. The type of modulation wave, you get 4 options: sine, saw, triangle, and square. And then the range. So crawl is slower than slow. Then you have slow, medium, fast, and turbo. The next section is the mixer for the additive and subtractive oscillators. So in order to hear the additive section, you have to turn this up to your desired volume. All right, same thing for the subtractive output. And this allows you to mix between the additive and the subtractive section. Down below, we have the unison section for the additive and the subtractive oscillators. All right. And then here to the right is the actual 2 subtractive oscillators that comes with Polyphenom. You get your choice of 5 different waveforms: sine, saw, triangle, square, and noise. You can change the octave for that particular oscillator. You can change the pitch by semi. All right, and that's per note basically. You can change it a note up and down. And then you have the fine option to modify the fine pitch. All right, and the same thing with the second oscillator. Just a duplicate of the first one, allowing you to mix between the 2. And speaking of mix, you also have crossfade here. All right, and then you have the sync button, which applies a hard sync to the subtractive synthesizer. And then right under the crossfade, you have a ring modulator for the subtractive oscillators. Down here is the frequency modulation section. This is the source of the frequency modulations. This allows you to change the octave of the source and allow that to be what drives the FM section, or you can do it based off of note, or you can do it based off of frequency. All right. And this allows you to modify the frequency itself. All right. And then the FM depth determines the depth of the FM frequency of the frequency modulation. Then, of course, you have an actual modulator for the FM part of the synthesizer. All right. When you click this button, this is an envelope for pitch modulation, right? And then this is the envelope influence or amount of envelope that is applied to the pitch based off of the envelope settings. Down here you have an oscillator LFO that allows you to, of course, modulate the pitch with an LFO. The next section is the effects section. You get panner, crusher, phaser, delay, chorus, and reverb. Of course, when it's underlined, it's selected. When it's blue, is activated. When it's white, it is not. All right. The bread and butter effects. The next section is the filter section. You have an on, off switch. You have an invert function that allows you to apply a stereo modulation to the filter. Without it, it is mono. All right. Next to that, you have the filter LFO, which allows, of course, modulation of the filter itself based off of LFO settings. All right. Down at the bottom, you have, of course, your amp envelope. Standard, attack, decay, sustain, release, and then the filter envelope with the filter influence on here as well. At the lower right here, you have the main output volume, a note indicator to let you know that there is signal going into the synth. You have presets that come with the plugin, the ability to save presets, load presets, save banks, and load banks. And you click on name to modify the name before you save it. To the right of that is this little pie thing here. This allows you to change the size of the plugin. So that is the interface for Polyphenom. Let's run through a few of the presets. Start with Polyphenom of the opera. Skip around for a few. So as you can see, this thing has some very interesting textures to it. I guess it would be a good time to actually poke around the interface and see if we can create something, right? As far as a preset. So I've chosen the initial preset of all sync on. So let's just randomly just go at this thing and see what we can come up with. Let's see here. Let's do 3. And I'll come down here to this guy. Subtle. Let's add some subtractive in there. I'm going to turn on the hard sync and add B in there. So let's change B to square wave. Add some ring modulation. Change the octave of A. All right, we'll go over here to the FM section and increase the depth. All right, let's mess with the pitch modulation. So we'll turn the envelope up. Right. Add some unison. All right. Turn on our filter. Filter modulation. And then filter amp. And then filter envelope. Turn the envelope influence up. All right, now let's dabble with some of the effects here. So we have panner. All right, we have crusher with that lo-fi sound. Need to modulate that. Kind of hard to hear with the panner, huh? Good. All right. Phaser. Let's turn the crusher off. Classic phaser sound. Delay. Change the left and right independently. And the feedback. Chorus. All right. And last but not least, reverb. If you know how to program a synthesizer, you will have fun with this. All right. So that is an attempt at creating a patch. Of course, we get over here, we name it EA1. Hit enter, hit file, save preset. And we have that preset now saved in our preset selection. All right. Let us see what we can do with Polyphenom in an instance of making an actual track. Good old battery for some drums here. like that. Like that. All right, we're gonna lighten up on the reverb just a little bit. Sure, why not? All right, I ain't gonna get too crazy with it. Let's cut that. Tell you what though, I like the feel of this thing. I like that bottom one. Turn that up. Yes. All right, so through the magic of time travel, I just finished up, a quick little composition using nothing but Polyphenom and battery for the drum. So let's see here what we have. I would use something like this to make music with. I like weird stuff, man. We got a wind sound. Nice ambiance for the background. It's kind of loud, but hey, we just throwing some stuff together, right? All right, we got our main pad here. This is announcer tremble. All right. And then I think in the beginning we used a couple of instruments we didn't use anywhere else. This one had to do some filtering on it. This little guy here. All right. And this guy here. And that was it, man. Just, throwing some stuff together, seeing what I can do with just that plugin. This is a deep synthesizer, man, that if you need ambience, if you need sound design for film and TV, even in the video game industry, this is perfect. Like if you know how to dig in and really design some sounds, you'll be right at home with this, man. This thing gives you just some real eerie sounds with this, and some real deep textures with this. And then the fact that, man, you have some pretty damn good effects within the synthesizer just allows you to create a whole sound within itself. Outside of that, man, this has been my review of Polyphenom. You can get this at oceanswift.net. They have a few other synthesizers on their website that is just as deep and as unusual as this one is, as well as some sound packs that they have, wave sound packs that you can get. But at any rate, leave a comment, leave a like, try not to leave a dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I need your subscription. If you find it in your heart to hit that subscribe button, please do so. Outside of that, you've been watching